everyone, my name is Judy, and this is finally Patch 3.0 Update Breakdown. As expected, it's the biggest one since Patch 2.0. So, make yourselves comfortable because we'll be here for a good while, yokes. Let's start with the most obvious additions to the game, in case you've been living as a hermit for the past few days. We have a new map, named Kyoto 1568, a new ranked system, which is a refined version of the terminal attack game mode introduced in Season 2, a new battle pass, this time with bonus pages already implemented, new circuits that we'll discover throughout the season. And of course, we have a lot of new weapons and tools for our beloved contestants. I won't go much into detail about those, as there are already almost 1,000 other videos going in depth about each of these things. Also, we have the introduction of an entirely new feature, World Tour, which will entertain us every week with unique temporary game modes. Oh, and I almost forgot what is most certainly the most anticipated addition of this season. The text chat has been added to the game. Now you can finally trash talk your teammates and get banned for it without needing a mic. How cool is that? Now, that being out of the way, let's see what else this patch notes have to offer, shall we? First on the list are the balance changes, and trust me, not only are they numerous, but they are also extremely meta-breaking. To start with, we have the health regeneration changes for the lights and mediums. Both of them will now begin earlier, making it easier for both of these classes to engage in combat cycles, minimizing their dependence on healing backup. These changes only apply outside of terminal attack, though, so keep that in mind. Moving on to the gadgets changes, the breach charge is now back to 2 charges, just like before, but there's a catch. Not only does it have a much longer cooldown than before, but it also deals significantly less damage to players. So, I guess we'll have to use it as it was meant to be from now on. How sad. Additionally, the data reshaper has also received an extra charge. However, just like the previous modification, its cooldown has been extended from 15 seconds to 26. I don't really know how it'll affect the battlefield, as both of these are still pretty situational picks. But I guess time will tell. I almost forgot to mention that the smoke grenade also received an additional use, increasing its charges from 2 to 3. Though I'm pretty sure this change won't make much of a difference, since nobody uses this gadget anyway. All right, let's continue with the 2 biggest changes of this gadget section: the rework of the glitch trap and the motion sensor. And yeah, I know most of you completely forgot those even exist. Regarding the glitch trap, it doesn't detonate anymore. Instead, it'll now channel a link between itself and nearby enemies in line of sight, glitching them in the process. The same applies to the motion sensor, though it will detect opponents rather than glitching them. Not gonna lie, these modifications have really piqued my interest to give them a try. Next up is the weapons section, which I won't analyze too extensively as these are mostly balancing changes that you won't really notice by anything else than the in-game feeling and performances. However, there are still some honorable mentions I'd like to point out. First of which being the CL-40, who received a reduction to self-damage. I have great hope that it'll prevent some of us from imitating a firework involuntarily. Second on the list is the LH-1, with an update to its firing animation. This aims to make the weapon easier to use, and since I couldn't use it for more than 2 minutes because of this, I'm guessing it was the same for some of you. So we'll see if it helps. Next up is the SH-19000, or the Light's double-barrel shotgun if you prefer, with a pretty significant buff to its damage per pellet and a larger dispersion pattern, making it less effective against other lights, but certainly overpowered against heavies. I know this weapon is not a fan favorite, but perhaps these changes will also increase its popularity? Who knows? And last, but certainly not least, the throwing knives. This thing has been a pain for everyone for the last few days, so the devs decided to rebalance it a bit more, reducing the effectiveness of its primary attacks and refining its secondary attacks into more of a sniping tool. These seem to be some pretty fair changes that don't nerf the weapon to the ground, nor leave it in its current state. Hopefully, this will balance this weapon once and for all. Next topic will also be a pretty short one, as it's a simple reduction of the radius of some barrels to encourage players to bring their own gadgets. It was noticed that some gadgets were rarely picked due to barrels being able to replace them way more than anticipated. Personally, I don't believe it'll have the expected outcome, as even with this nerf, it would still be better than wasting a gadget slot. But I may be wrong. Wait a minute, how long is this video already? Almost 6 minutes? Okay. We'll just do a very quick review of the most important aspects of the content and bug fixes section, and I'll let you guys go, all right? All right. So, we have received 10 new career levels and 1 more progression level for weapons and tools. We can now customize our player card. Daily contract re-rolls have been temporarily disabled because the devs want to retweak daily contracts. Terminal attack now has its own tutorial. We can finally change the commentator's dialogue volume independently of the voice's volume. We can skip the elimination camera to spectate our teammates faster. Several equipment HUD icons have been updated. And finally, the sword emote exploit has been fixed. There, I'm done. Whew. Sorry. But that was a lot. But with that, we've reached the end of the very first patch notes for Season 3. But before I let you guys go, I just wanted to let you know that on June 18th at Twitch Rivals will take place the first ever official cash-out tournament of the finals. So, if you want to see some of the best streamers shoot each other for a cash prize of $50,000, you should probably mark this date on your agenda. That being said, as always, don't forget to check out the store for the new cosmetics and the link in the description for more details about these patch notes. Until next time, I wish you all a wonderful Season 3. This was Judy, signing out.